friend Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. I have got a great video for you today, just as you can see what the thumbnail talks about. And it talks about living and living longer and enjoying our life. But before I get to that, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's a great community and you're going to want to be a part of it. It's fast, free, and easy to do. On the bottom right-hand corner is a little red box. Tap on it and you're subscribed. Go ahead and also give us one of those thumbs up. Lets other people know it's a great video to watch about retiring to Lake Chapala. Okay, well, this is one of those things I think that I'm going to share with you, not in 5 different videos or 6 different videos. I've not seen a video like this except what I've actually produced that has everything of the reasons of moving to Lake Chapala. Not necessarily to Mexico, but to Lake Chapala. And what I did was I did a study to find out living longer, what some of the keys are for living longer. And then what I wanted to do is I wanted to find out what, in fact, here at Lake Chapala fed into that really, I guess I would say, creates the ability to be able to live longer, the items that are included with that. So we all want a better quality of life. And we want to be able to, we come to Mexico to be able to live well, to live better on less. Being able to live a more fulfilled life and not having to be concerned about the prices such as they are in the States. Now, there's some really good things about that. One of the things is we fuel the local economy, expats, to the tune of over $500 million a year. So there's a good thing of what we do for the country, for the local businesses, and for the economy here. So it's a real win-win situation. But I'm going to give you 7 different things that actually are key to being able to live here longer at Lake Chapala. Let's talk about the first one. So when we think of being able to breathe fresh air, I know that I can remember being raised in Southern California, and it was really odd because you could breathe and all the smog gets inside of you and just gives you a really weird when you're breathing and you can feel it in your lungs. And then as I was older in Southern California, same thing, that feeling of the smog and all. But it takes going to the mountains. Now here's a plus about Lake Chapala. We are a mile high and it's awesome, because we've got fresh air, we've got the lake, we've got the coolness that comes, the breeze that comes off the lake. And in doing that and being at a higher elevation, that means we can breathe fresher air. And so that's a real health benefit. That's one of the things that I saw was really important, is living life healthier. And there's some points here I'm making about that. So the fact of being able to walk, I know there's a lot of walking here, a lot of bicycling here. There's a lot of walking, hiking here, exercise, bicycling and such. And I love my bike going out. And so there's a real exercise part in that too. So number 1 is being able to live healthier by having fresh air to breathe. Number 2 is living in a climate that promotes healthy living. Now, depending on where you live in the world, you'll well know, and I can share just by experience being in Southern California, that the climate's real hot, then it's real cold, it's real foggy, it's real smoggy. There are other cities in the country that are like that. But I want to let you know we don't have that here at Lake Chapala. We get the benefits of living at lakeside. And because the elevation is a mile high, the average yearly temperature is 68 to 72 degrees. That's right, 68 to 72 degrees. So when you wake up one day and you're able to see the beautiful blue sky and it's just gorgeous outside, you hear the birds chirping, and obviously there's great attitudes in people's lives because it is great. It's blue sky. It's a lot of days there's no cloud in the sky. It's clear, just a wonderful place to be. So the elevation of being a mile high. Also, the temperature is really important. When you live in a place where the temperature is always really hot or really cold, there's really a detriment to the human being's health. So being here, we don't have the hot and the cold. We have the temporal, basically kind of like springtime, an eternal springtime here at Lake Chapala, being able to wake up in the morning, kind of like Groundhog Day, a good part of Groundhog Day. Here's another one. Number 3 is a slower paced lifestyle. Now, when they actually study individuals that live longer, and we're talking about, I want to say they said it was 95 to 100 and over. The way that people live better is because of the fact of their lifestyle. And so it's slower paced. It isn't always rushing around. It isn't being filled with a bunch of anxiety and stress. It's a slower lifestyle. So instead of picture being on the road here, the carretera, traveling to wherever you're going here along Lake Chapala, and not having to be concerned about getting there within a certain time and rushing to get there and having to deal with traffic, because it's different here. It's different here. You do not have to try to rush yourself. Here's what this does here, and that is it alleviates the high stress level. You find that it's drastically decreased because you're able just to take a breath and relax. There's been several folks that have come to town that I've actually taken out of my exploration and relocation service, and I take them to the lake and we sit on a bench and I ask folks, what does this scene, what does this remind you of sitting right here? And it's amazing the words I get. The one that I get the most is peace. Peace. And if there's something that we as humans search for in life, doesn't matter if you live in Canada, doesn't matter if you live in the States, doesn't matter if you live in Europe, but we look for peace. We look for a way of being able to live a quality life, a longer life, but to live really well, live well. So the number 3 is drastically decreasing the fast pace of life and being able to live a slower life. 4, the warm Mexican people. We're welcome into their country. We are guests. And a real good part or a thing I can share about that is that you see smiles all the time. You see folks, when I go and take my bike ride, it's amazing how as I'm going down the carretera, which is where the bike path, there's a bike path, walking path, jogging path that goes to 20 miles from Jocotepec to Chapala. So as I'm riding, I will say hola, which is hello. And what's interesting is it seems like the Mexican people that are on there or riding bikes or going around where it may be, they're always a smile and saying hola. What I find is when I'm talking to expats and they're walking or they're riding, it's almost like they're surprised that I would talk to them. I think I catch them off guard because I'm going by on a bike and they're walking, whatever. And but it's the warmth of the Mexican people. They are hard workers here. I really feel a sense of not only embracing the culture, but being able to have some of the things that helps in the economy to individual families, like our housekeeper, like our gardener, people who have families that we're able to help support. I'm not saying it's thousands of dollars. I'm just talking about for them to come in and provide a service. It's now it's inexpensive, but we definitely don't take advantage of it. We in a way where we try to get as most for less that we possibly have to pay. It's not the way it is. We really appreciate the folks that come and work hard here. As a matter of fact, both of them, housekeeper and also our gardener, there's a lot of times where they have the families with them. Our housekeeper, she brings her daughter sometimes, And our gardener has, 2, 3 of their kids here helping him also. So it's being able to help the economy, but it's able to help individual families. And so it's the warmth of the Mexican people and not seeing what we see in the States, the insurrection, and just a lot of the stuff we have to deal with on a daily basis. The States, Canada, also the same. So number 4 is the warmth of the Mexican people. Number 5, eating healthy. Now, this is one of the things I got to be honest with you that I had a real difficult time with when we first got here. I was raised in Southern California. I was raised also in New Mexico. Well, in Southern California, I was raised on Mexican food. I was raised on it. We ate, it seems like we ate all the time. We were at Mexican food restaurants. I can remember also as we got older and moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico is the chili capital of the world. And so we're used to red and green chili. We're used to eat meals and accustomed to eating certain kinds of food. But here's the one thing that you can really get here every single time. And by the way, I have found places I really love eating at here. Is the readily accessed every day to fresh fruits and vegetables. And they're inexpensive. And you can find them all over the place. A lot of times, you can go to the grocery stores, but you see little huts and tents and all set out all along the highway where people are selling fresh fruits and vegetables. I'm talking about everything. We're talking corn on the cob. We're talking about watermelon. We're talking about other melons. We're talking about the veggies, the peppers. Everything. It's a wide range of things that you can actually find here. And so being able to eat healthy is very simple and easy to do here. Now, there are folks that go and they overeat and such, that kind of thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being able to know that what you're eating is really quality food. And if you like fruits and vegetables, you're going to love Lake Chapala because of the fact the Mexican people, they actually grow it here. You can see all around the lake, there are hundreds of places where berries are being grown. And so you go to the restaurants locally, you've always got berries that are part of things, fresh fruits and vegetables. It's amazing. So I probably need to go eat because I'm talking about food right now. So healthy eating, fresh fruits and vegetables. Here's a big one. The quality of life. When you come here, we're not even talking about a slower pace, but we're talking about the ability to make really good friends. Now, Barbara and I, we had great friends when we were in Albuquerque. A lot of them were from church, a lot of church friends. But we have found that we have made a lot more friends here at Lake Chapala. Now, it probably has something to do with, obviously we've got the channel. We're out and about, or we're at restaurants where maybe and people are always recognizing who we are. And I'm always warm to everybody. And I don't want anybody to feel like you can't come up and say hi or anything. We're kind. We'd love to know that you're here. So don't feel like you can't come by and say hi or anything. We're not these big, movie stars or anything. We're just folks that moved here that saw that people needed to know what to expect when they came here and needed to know what the truths were on things instead of, I tell folks all the time that we go out on my exploration and relocation service that you've got to be careful of what voice you're listening to, because there's a lot of stuff here it's talked about that isn't true, that isn't honest. It's being said. Somebody sees it on Facebook and then they embellish the story. So you just got to be careful. So I want you to know that if you see us out and about, feel free to come up to us. So the quality of life, friendships. Literally, this last year, I was with 80 couples last year, few months, 80 couples, and there's 62 of them have already moved here just within that period of time. And so we have something on a weekly basis that we get together for dinner. It's all about community. And so we consider these all friends. And we have as many as in a night, 25, 30 people. We've had as many as over 50 people. And so we have really made a lot of friends. And you know what? You would do the same. A lot of very friendly people that are here. And the Mexican people just the same. I mean, it's just, and that's one of the reasons I encourage folks to learn Spanish. It's something right now, there's going to be the opportunity. I'll be putting something together for those folks that are here at Lake Chapala. They're a part of the channel that for those that want to, are going to be able to learn Spanish. And it's something I'm looking forward to because I really want to be able to interact with the Mexican people and be able to speak the language. And as I said, I embrace the culture. So that's part of what I'm wanting to do. And I've been to a couple different classes and it's like, I don't know, just the people I was taking the classes from, it was almost like there was no structure. I went one time in both of them and it just was no structure. People were just asking questions. How do you say this? How do you say that? As compared to, learning what the parts of the body are, learning how to communicate with people and conversational Spanish and, that kind of structure. So anyway, that's something that's also coming up. So the quality of life, also the activities. There are a lot of activities here that people can be a part of. There's a Lake Chapala Society that's got all kinds of things going on all the time. Churches have got events going on. There's all kinds of arts and crafts that go on here. So it's being able to live a fulfilled life and be able to share your life with other people and make new friends and just live life at a totally different level and an exciting level. And, a lot of us become, well, I should say, I think we all that come here for some of the same reasons. So when you get talking to somebody, you're probably going to find that, well, they moved here for that reason also. And it's kind of how things work here. You'll find out. It's a great group of people here. Number 7, closing this out, is living life without the threat of crime and the political scene, the deception that goes on, I don't know. There's so many things I could say about it, but having the opportunity of not having to be actively involved in that and live in a place where there's peace. And so it isn't like you've got to be actively involved in that. And I think about the crime part. I just saw something the other day. It was one of the news channels was talking about what happened recently in the subway in New York. Had 2,000 not Federal Reserve, 2,000 I can't think what they are now. Sorry, I can't think of the word. They're not the police. They're part of the Army Reserves. Maybe that's what it is, Army Reserve. Apparently, there was somebody who's one of the pilots of the, I don't know if they call them pilots or driver or whatever they do for the subways. As you can tell, I've not been there. Had his throat slit. And apparently there were some other people that were stabbed. That was all in one day. And it wasn't just one person. There were several people that got hurt. And so they're really wanting to make sure that it's safe. So the world has changed differently than what we've known it. I mean, it's constantly just, and it isn't for the better. I hear people all the time talking about, they just know something's going to happen in the States. It's just going to be, and they want to be able to be gone. So I'm not sharing that to scare anybody, but there are folks that talk to me, they talk about finances. I mean, all these different kinds of things, the reason people come here. So the threat of crime, I was just with somebody here just the other day to ask me if I'm fearful of crime here. And I says, or if I've experienced the fear of crime here. And I says, no, I haven't. It hasn't been something that I even think about. We've been here almost 3 years. So crime has never been something I've been concerned or feeling afraid or anything like that. Not having to be involved and thinking about that stuff going on every day and what's happening. And I guess what I should say, I got here in my notes, I should have said, need I say more? Instead of just talking about it. But anyway, 7 things. Fresh air, the climate. the slower pace of life, healthy eating, the quality of life, and the threat of crime in the political scene. So, things for you to think about retiring here to Lake Chapala. This is why people come, and this is how people are able to live longer. So I hope that's been helpful for you. So friend, I hope that whatever I've shared here today is one of those things that you've been looking forward to find out some truths about living in Lake Chapala and some of the things that can be beneficial for you in your journey and your research and such about Lake Chapala. So if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's fast, free, and easy to do. There's a little red box in the bottom right-hand corner. Tap on it and you're subscribed. Go ahead and give us one of those thumbs up. Let other people know it's a great video to watch about living at Lake Chapala. Also stop by, say hi, ask a question, let us know of a video idea that you'd like to see, and make sure you hit the bell. That way you're immediately notified when our next video comes out. So with that, as always, thank you so much for being a supporter of this channel and this community. Have an awesome day. We'll see you on the next video.